What are hedge funds? What kinds do exist? And why are they criticized so much? This and much more in this video. Hello and welcome to the Business Class, your YouTube channel, where you learn all about the topic money. Although money and wealth are not everything, you barely get anywhere without in our modern day society. Seemingly everyone nowadays wants to be rich, famous and live a life in wealth, but of course not everyone will manage to do so. However, if you are determined, focused and working hard, you will be able to achieve your goals. So do no longer waste your potential. Do no longer wait for your luck to happen from alone. Improve yourself every single day and you will soon start to see the fruits of your success. With my videos, I want to provide you with motivation, knowledge and inspiration, so that you can reach your goals as fast as possible and make the best out of your life. If you have general interest in content about topics like make money online, stocks, luxury and lifestyle, subscribe to the channel and press the bell button, to not miss a single video. Also write a comment with your suggestions and wishes, which content you would like to see more often. And now let's start. What are hedge funds? Hedge funds are alternative, actively managed investment funds traded off the stock exchange. With hedge funds, investors pursue the goal of generating maximum returns. This often involves taking high risks. Since not all hedge funds can be committed to a specific strategy, the investments range from shares and bonds to speculative transactions with short sales using the leverage effect. At first glance, however, hedge funds hardly have anything to do with security, because they sometimes pursue very risky investment strategies and have hardly any restrictions. Nevertheless, investors also use their strategies to specifically counteract individual risks in their portfolio. The term can also be assigned to the hedging strategy. This is an investment strategy for hedging investments, e.g. on the stock market, whereby a counter position is taken with derivatives such as futures and options. In this way, losses on the stock market can be absorbed in turbulent times. Hedge funds are often also referred to as investment funds of the super rich, as the minimum investment volume of most hedge funds is $500,000 and more. Accordingly, a very high income is necessary to participate as an investor. How do hedge funds differ from classic investment funds? Since hedge funds are a type of investment fund, this type of fund also has similarities with classic funds. Both the classic investment fund and the hedge fund are actively managed by a fund manager. The fund manager implements the fund's strategy and takes care of buying and selling the securities that he or she believes will bring the best possible performance. In the case of hedge funds, performance is dependent on the decisions of the fund manager, as the overall performance of the market plays only a subordinate role here. Apart from this similarity, however, there are some differences between hedge funds and classic investment funds. A little hint for you: if the content of the video is important to you and you want to benefit from it in the future, you can easily save the video to your playlist or click on Watch Later, so that you can watch it again at any time you want. Or, if you don't watch this video as a logged-in member, just save the video as a bookmark in your browser, to always have easy access to it. Hedge funds. Investment funds. They have a low investment restrictions and strong investment regulation. The goal is the highest possible return and to outperform the overall market. And they regulated by law only to a small extent. Use of short sales and derivatives are almost unrestricted, only purchases of securities are possible. Return depends on the expertise of the fund manager and on the development of the overall market. In the case of actively managed funds, also on the reallocation of the fund management. How do hedge funds work? The basic principle of hedge funds is similar to that of traditional investment funds. The fund manager invests the investor's money in different assets and tries to achieve the highest possible return for the investors. In contrast to classic investment funds, however, the asset classes in hedge funds are not limited. This means that the fund manager can invest not only in shares but also in derivatives. Since there is no uniform regulation for the use of capital, hedge funds do not follow a specific strategy, but rather a variety of investment strategies exist. The best-known hedge fund strategies. Long-short strategy. This is the most common strategy. The fund manager buys and sells shares in various companies and speculates on their future price development. The basic idea is to speculate that some shares will perform better and others will lose value. In doing so, the fund concentrates either more on one or the other position. Many hedge funds focus on the short position and thus on short selling. Arbitrage strategy. In this strategy, price and price differences of securities on different markets are exploited. In this type of arbitrage transaction, the fund buys individual securities on one stock exchange in order to exploit the price differences on other stock exchanges and then sells them there again. Event-driven strategy. This is an event-based hedge fund strategy. This means that you keep an eye on one or more markets and take advantage of certain events and developments. For example, mergers, takeovers or bankruptcies of companies can be included in the investment strategy. Likewise, speculation on turnarounds, e.g. through rescues, of companies to be restructured with a low share price and great potential for recovery can be included. If the company is turned around and the share price rises, the hedge fund makes a profit. Conversely, the fund can also incur losses if the desired event does not occur. Global macro strategy. The global macro strategy involves making money through trends. The essence is therefore to observe markets macroeconomically, i.e. as a whole, rather than focusing on just one part, and identify opportunities from them, then systematically exploit them to make potentially high profits. The fund manager tries to predict trends from political, social and economic developments as well as interests and invest accordingly at an early stage. Hedge funds are known as a type of fund with the chance of particularly high returns. However, the high profit is associated with very high risks. This is because while the return of classic funds depends on a positive market development, hedge funds can also speculate on falling prices independently of this. This means that continuous profits can be made, provided that the manager of the fund is right with his speculations. Investing in hedge funds can therefore be very profitable, but can also lead to high losses just as quickly. Why are hedge funds so risky? One of the biggest risks of hedge funds is their heavy reliance on the fund manager's strategy combined with risky speculation that can lead to large losses. Investors who invest in a hedge fund have to accept the risk of a total loss. In addition, the low level of regulation of hedge funds means that these high risks are possible at all. The risk factors of hedge funds at a glance. Leverage effect. Hedge funds can work with borrowed capital in order to exploit the leverage effect. This works by borrowing to maximize returns. If, for example, you can achieve a return of 9% with $100,000 that you already have, you take out another loan to be able to invest more. If this loan only costs 5% interest, then you have a positive leverage effect. So you can invest significantly higher sums and thus make a profit. However, speculating on the leverage effect is a risky maneuver, because there is no guarantee that a higher return will actually be achieved than the interest that has to be paid. If the leverage effect is negative, the loan amount plus interest must be repaid, which can lead the fund and its investors into bankruptcy. Short selling. Hedge funds most often apply the leverage effect to short selling. Short selling is a highly speculative trade in which you bet on falling prices. In essence, you profit from the fact that other parties lose. The process of a short sale is simple. The seller borrows shares from the owner at a fee of usually 2% of the value of the shares and sells them. Then he waits for price losses and downward trends. He then buys back the share at a better price and returns it to the lender or owner. Ideally, the difference between the selling price and the new purchase price is the short seller's profit. And the lender or owner of the shares also profits, as he receives the additional 2% of the share value. Short selling is a very risky business because you can also speculate and the prices do not develop as expected. Financial crises. In the 2008 financial crisis, investors in hedge funds suffered heavy losses as many funds were forced to close. Although hedge funds can profit from weak market phases, this example shows that losses in crises are therefore not excluded. And due to the high volumes, they can be all the more severe. Are hedge funds suitable for private investors? Access to hedge funds is not unrestricted for private investors. Since investors have to invest a large sum to enter hedge funds and the funds are very risky, this type of investment is more suitable for large investors or institutional investors. Basically, the largest market for hedge funds is in the USA, where they are known as a high-risk type of fund for the super rich. Conclusion: sensible alternatives to hedge funds. By definition, hedge funds belong to the category of alternative investment funds. Due to their speculative investment strategies, they are characterized by high risk and are therefore more suitable for professional investors than for private investors. Instead of relying on fund types with extremely high risk, as is the case with hedge funds, private investors can also invest in the stock market with lower risks. This is possible, for example, by investing in ETFs. Not only are index funds more cost-efficient, but investors can also align their financial investment along their personal risk appetite. And if one day, you want to build up your own business or you have one already and want it to grow much bigger and faster, always have in mind that starting a successful business and earning money takes time. You need perseverance and a lot of stamina. It's like you growing a small plant right from the seed. You never know how fast it will grow, how tall it will get, and how many fruits you will be able to collect. It is the same with every business. Some work great, some flop, and some could become very successful. But people way too often resign much too early. So follow my advices, try out different methods, and sooner or later, you will find the one that suits you the most, that fits best to your skills and knowledge, and you will have a well-earning business. No matter if you want to make money online, by affiliate marketing, drop shipping, or even stocks, everything is possible. And even though growing a business and making money can sometimes be a lengthy and tedious issue, it's all worth it at the end. Just stay focused to your goals, work smart and hard, spend your time and resources effectively, be persistent, and sooner or later, you will have success. You will reach your goals and earn enough money to live the life you ever dreamed of. I hope this video was helpful for you and I was able to impart knowledge to you, give you new ideas, or simply inspire and motivate you to change your life in a positive way. If so, please leave a like and write me your opinion and content requests in the comments. If you have general interest in content about topics like make money online, stocks, luxury, and lifestyle, subscribe to the channel and press the bell button to not miss a single video. Thank you very much for your interest and especially for your time. And hopefully, we see us in the next business meeting.